Here we go. Let's see. Instagram. What you doing? What you doing, Instagram?
Hey y'all,
What's good, everybody?
I'm back for another episode 68.
Yes. Hold on. This thing. Let me get this thing going with Instagram.
Yeah, we just trying to get it right so that we can broadcast everywhere, y'all.
Oh my goodness. Don't do me like that. But happy Father's Day, y'all.
Yes, happy Father's Day. Shouts to all the men taking care of these kids and showing up and being amazing figures. You don't gotta be a legit, a biological father to be a father. So all the uncles, the mentors,
Um, it
all the men.
says it says we live on Instagram, but I can't see it.
All right, let me check.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all. Thank y'all for y'all patience as we work through some technical difficulties. Let me see. No, we not live on IG. They
So
lying.
what is StreamYard talking about?
Streaming
Like,
art is lying.
hold on. Let me take a picture of this so you can see. You gotta have proof because it says you are live. Why does it say that? Yeah, I'm gonna have to show Shantae how to do this because
Yeah,
my stuff is acting real
yeah. I
jankified.
don't know what it's about, but we here anyway. I'm sorry, IG family. I miss our IG family really
Right.
real bad because
Come
yeah. But we
on.
gonna get it right for next week. I don't know. StreamYard hating, but we'll be back. But yeah, welcome to episode 68. Another episode of the weekly recap where we recap the news and sports, NIL, tech, and then culture, which is the business of sports, music, film, fashion, art. We love all that stuff. So we come here or try to come here every week, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Yes, we a little late today, but nonetheless, we here and we appreciate you tapping in with us. Um, and yeah, we were talking about Father's Day,
Yeah,
and
man.
yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody, all the men out there.
That's a fact. If you're a real one taking care of your kids, we acknowledge you today. Um, because we know there are a lot of dads that are out here doing what they need to do. Okay. Shout out to all the men in my life, my father, my brothers, my husband, obviously. Father's Day was actually for me yesterday. Like we did some stuff yesterday. Okay, we're gonna talk about that at the end of the show, in the culture segment. Okay, but yeah, happy Father's Day. Me and Shantae talked about this offline. The excitement and enthusiasm is not the same for Father's Day that it is for Mother's Day. Okay, and that is quite a shame. But you know what? Up here where I live in the Northeast Corridor, the place we went to was packed, and I like to see that. I like to see people
I love
celebrating
that.
their dads. So
Yes.
we rolled up. This is a place we usually go to, like when we want to go for like a little date night or whatever. And we rolled up. All the cars was parked out. I was like, can we get in?
I love
But
that though.
but it worked out.
Mm,
We got a chance to eat by the water, by the
that's
lake,
beautiful.
and it was a good time. Okay.
That's dope. That's dope. I love that. So yeah, thank y'all for tapping in with us. I guess we can get right into it,
Yeah.
right? There is a lot to cover tonight, so bear with us. I mean, I think we should start off saying RIP to Jerry West. I mean, it's only
Facts.
right. Goated.
The logo. The logo. I mean, if you don't know who Jerry West is, then I mean, are you really a basketball fan?
No, for
Like
real.
the guy is his name, image, and likeness is the NBA logo. Okay, if we just want to put it
Simply, but he did so
right.
much for the game. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so to see that, I was like, what? I mean, I was about to say I felt like it happened unexpectedly, but I mean, I mean, of course it did. We didn't hope. I don't know if he had any medical issues, prior to him passing, but he
Right.
lived a great life, had a great legacy, um, still has an amazing legacy that he's leaving behind. But just wanted to show our love and respect to Jerry West. So rest in peace to
Right.
him and his family. We, thoughts and prayers to them as well. Um, for the WNBA, we're just gonna cover this weekend basketball from this weekend, not this whole week. If you want to see a breakdown of the entire week, holla at our family at the 9450. They're gonna be live tonight in about an hour at like 8:30, 8:45. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to be breaking down, I'm pretty sure, basketball from this past week and today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, yesterday we had the Aces versus New York. Obviously, that was a rematch game from last year's championship game, and it was a good
Final
game.
series.
Yeah, it was a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
The Liberty ended up winning 90-82. John Carl Jones had a great game last night. Well, I'm gonna say last night, but yeah, yesterday afternoon she had 34 points, 8 rebounds. Sabrina, she just looks more I will say this because I've been hard on Sabrina,
Right.
at least offline. Like
Mm-hmm.
I may not tweet about it, I may not, talk, but the people offline, aka Brittany and my dad, they know I've been real tough on Sabrina. I was really tough on her last season. I will
Right.
say that she looked a lot more comfortable yesterday. I wasn't scared when she had the ball in her hands yesterday.
Right.
She just looks a little bit more comfortable and confident with the ball. And
I would agree.
yeah, she had 15 points and 12 assists yesterday. She had a great game. Brianna Stewart had 14 points, 12 rebounds. Benijah Laney Hamilton, she had 12 points, 7 rebounds. Asia Wilson had 21 points, 9 rebounds. Kelsey Plum, obviously, she's been having a rough shooting time in the
Yeah.
last several games. But she looked alive last night. She had 22 points, 3 assists. She was 8 for 13 from the field and 2 for 5 from the three. A lot better than what she's been,
Shooting like
given. Yeah.
yeah.
Jackie Young, she had 10.6 assists. Definitely needed a lot more from Jackie last night. She was 2 from 9, 2 for 9 from the three. Alicia Clark, she ended with 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And I seen everybody in a frenzy last night because Sabrina was interviewed after the game and she mentioned that John Quell Jones was the best forward in the league, and obviously we know that's not the truth. But Brittany, do you have anything you may want to say about that?
I mean, Sabrina is supposed to say that John Quell had a great game yesterday, and you just have to defend your teammate, right? I mean, John Quell is one of the top forwards in the league. I mean, we can agree to that, right?
I agree with that. I am comparing what you're saying to like rappers. Rappers always be like, like, especially from New York. I'm the best rapper out of New York, or I'm the
Right,
greatest
right,
rapper alive. Even
right,
though they know
right.
they're not the greatest rapper coming out of New York, or they're not the greatest rapper alive. But you know,
you
yeah,
you got to show supreme confidence in yourself, like, and that's what New Yorkers do. Like, we exude the ultimate supreme self confidence. You feel me? And look, Sabrina is defending her teammate. She putting her teammate on a pedestal. I mean, she came to play, right? She came to play. I feel like John Quell has been the most consistent Liberty player this year. Like from the jump, from out the gate. So she was their WNBA Commissioner's Cup MVP last year during that battle with the Las Vegas Aces as well, right? This is starting to become a nice little rivalry.
Yeah, I
I,
like it.
I like what's going down. Jackie Young, it was very like I think she's still battling with the sickness that she's been battling because that's uncharacteristic from Jackie. Like she barely has poor shooting performances like this. She's usually locked in, so I think she's still recovering from whatever illness she was going through. So the Aces are on a little slide right now, but I mean, this is what happens in basketball, in sports. Sometimes, you gotta fight through adversity, and you have to kind of figure out what works for your team. I think Asia's Asia Wilson's post game interview kind of summed it up for all of us. She's just a really great person. Like like that lady wants to win, and she truly and deeply cares about her teammates. And when
Nah,
you
yeah.
deep and when you deeply care about your teammates, what do? You push them. You push and challenge them all the time. And we seen it yesterday, obviously in the game. What's her streak right now? She's on the streak, right? Like,
Yeah, she's been getting. Let me see. She's been getting 20 plus points. I feel like every game this season, she definitely has had 20 plus points every game this season. Just to piggyback off what you said, she's a winner. That girl wants
yeah,
to win. Um,
facts.
she came out the gate this season on demon time. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, we might as well go into that.
I mean, yeah, she entered this season on demon time. I mean, yeah, she broke the WNBA record with 8 straight 25-point games. Um, and like Brittany said, even though the Aces haven't been quote unquote looking like themselves in comparison to last year,
Right,
um, Asia has been showing up as like looking like the champion that she is.
right,
She just her mindset this isn't something that she just turned on at the beginning of the season. This is something that obviously has been on and running throughout the entire off season, and the work that she's been putting in the off season is showing up for her now, and it just looks like she's ready to ball every night.
right.
Last week she against the Mercury, she had a 32-point game. Um, she was 10 of 17 shooting with 15 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. Um, and during that game is when she actually broke the record. And the previous record holder was Tina Charles. Shouts to Tina Charles. And she had 7 straight 25-point games back in 2021. So yeah, Asia goated. I mean, she exudes excellence. When you hear her speak, that's what she gives, and her performance shows that. She expects the best from her teammates because she's going to give it her all on the floor. If she was my teammate, I would go super hard for her, and I know that. I'm pretty sure that's how her teammates feel about her now. I mean, we've heard what Kate Martin had to say about her. We hear what everybody has to say about her, to be honest, that plays with her.
Right.
She's just a leader. Like, she's a natural leader, and she doesn't just talk it, she walks it. And watching that the post game, if you didn't have no feelings about what she said or had, any goosebumps, you didn't get any of that, then you just tripping. As a previous baller, as two previous hoopers,
Right.
you feel that. when you listen to that, you feel something. Um, so yeah, I think the Aces will be fine. Like I said, they are having, I guess, a tough time right now. They're 6 for 6. I think they won 6, lost 6. I think the total number of games they lost last season was actually 6. So, I mean, teams have gotten better. You got more hoopers in here, so I mean the competition's high, but I think that the Aces will be fine. Um, but yeah, that game
Facts.
was really good yesterday. Moving on, we can talk a little
Facts.
bit about today. We had the Fever versus the Sky, and I think again, piggybacking off of what Brittany said about the Aces and Liberty being like a cool little cute rivalry, I think we definitely have a rivalry on our hands with the Fever and the Sky. It's always spicy. Um, when these two teams compete against one another, the Fever won today,
Facts.
91-83. We saw Camilla and then we saw Kennedy in the starting lineup today. I think it was really dope to see Kennedy. Every time I see Kennedy play, she really reminds me of AI. I don't know. She got AI's energy with her every time she plays, every time she hoops. Um, but nonetheless, it was nice to see her in the starting lineup today. Angel Reese and Camilla are the fifth pair of rookie teammates in WNBA history to reach each record of 10 plus points and 10 plus rebounds in the same game. Um, and I think this is what we've been looking for, right? Like, once we found out at the draft that they both were going to the Chicago Sky, everybody was hyped to see them two hoop together. Um,
Right.
People went so far as to say
I
they the
mean,
female twin towers. Like everybody was hyped to see that.
that's that's what I was about to say. That's what you called them out the jump today. Like you was like, oh, the Twin Towers is starting today. Like, I mean, that's justified, okay? Um, I just want to say that I think Camilla is still adjusting. Obviously, we know she suffered injury early in the season, so while Chicago has played, I believe, 13 games, Camilla has only played 7. So she's played half.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still trying to get in her conditioning. She's still trying to get adjusted. Obviously, you see her fouling a little bit more because you have to adjust to the pace of the game. When you first start, you're gonna foul.
Right.
Obviously, we've seen Cameron Brink first couple of games out the jump, 5 fouls, like every game. So, but please, Camilla, when Camilla really gets in her bag and Angel Reese really gets in her offensive bag, they're gonna be really good. They're gonna be really good. I already see like Camilla. I don't think a lot of people give her credit for how great of a passer she is coming out of the post. Like she is a great passer out of the post and can find these guards. And Marina Mabry is a bucket. Okay, that girl can shoot. What she finished with 22 points today, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and she's spicy. Marina Mabry, she not taking nobody's junk. Like the Notre Dame guards, they tough. We gotta do like just a Notre Dame guard WNBA breakdown because
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of them,
it is a lot of them. It is.
and they all be killing.
All be killing. All super competitive. All of them. So yeah.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, she ended with 23 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. She had a good game today. She was really finding her teammates today, specifically Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston ended with 19 points, 14 rebounds. She shot 9 for 13 from the field. She had a really good game today. Um, just piggybacking off what you said, Angel Reese, she was in foul trouble today. I mean, at the end of the game, she had 5 fouls. She still ended with 11 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. That girl's a walking double double. She's a walking double double. And
Right.
I was saying offline today, yo, that girl is relentless. When I tell you Angel Reese is relentless, I'm
Yeah.
laughing because I'm laughing because at my big age, Brittany be making fun of me because she's like, that's you, like, you used to be bumping bodies with people, and it's like,
Right.
yeah, but I feel so far removed. So when I'm watching Angel Reese, I'm like, I would hate to guard her. Like, she never just sits. She's always moving. The girl's just she's everywhere. She's everywhere. She's never not moving.
Yeah.
And then she want to bump with you. She's not afraid of the contact.
Nope. And she talking
And
shit.
she talking the whole game. I would hate.
Yeah.
Listen, I would hate to have to guard her. Um, but yeah, once she gets her in her offensive bag, um, yeah, like she's already giving it up. She's already getting the numbers, and she don't have like patent moves yet
Right.
on offense yet. So
Right.
once she gets those, she can go on her bag of tricks and do what she need to do every game. So very excited to see how she continues to grow in the league. Camila Cardoso had 10 points, 10 rebounds. She too was in foul trouble. She ended with 5 fouls. Kennedy Carter doing Kennedy Carter things. She had 18 points, 4 assists. We talked about Marina already. Alyssa Smith, yo. She had a good game today. She had 15 points and 7 rebounds. And then also Kelsey Mitchell. She had a good game as well. She had 17 points, 4 rebounds. She was 7 for 13 from the field. I do see everybody talking, excuse me, about the flagrant foul that Angel Reese, and I don't even want to give it legs, that Angel Reese got in the game. She clearly went to block Caitlin Clark, but missed the ball and hit her head. Like, it happens all the
Mm.
time.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
basketball. It happens all the time. It definitely didn't look intentional. Um, it happens. She got the whistle blew. She got called for a flagrant. I already see the media being who they are. They deserve a nasty award this week for sure. I mean, they deserve a nasty award every week. If I'm being honest, the way the media twists and turns actual events is very disgusting. I mean, we see that even outside of basketball. Not even to get political, but in politics, we see it everywhere. We see it in every sector, but the media is really
Right.
disgusting. And so, um, Angel Reese ain't mean no harm, man. She ain't mean no harm. It was
Yeah. I
unintentional.
definitely.
It was
I.
basketball.
Yeah. I seen the play. She definitely was trying to give her a nice little swat, and just happened to clock her head. Okay. And it happens all the time. Okay. Y'all gotta chill.
They gotta chill. Media, you gotta chill. I know y'all beasting for clicks. Y'all beasting for views and likes. I mean, that's where we at now. It's really nasty. The integrity of, well, the lack thereof in media is really low. It's really low.
Yeah.
Journalist integrity in journalism is almost non-existent. Nobody cares about the truth or facts. They care more about stories that get clicks and, like I said, views.
Yeah.
Everybody is clout chasing. It's nasty. And the media need to stop. The media actually been, you know what? Whatever. The media have been doing this since them two were in college. We know that. You and I know that. I don't know if people picking up what we putting down, but the media been nasty. It's been it's been nasty, and um, yeah, they deserve a
Yeah.
nasty award. But yeah, the people won again today. Um, it was a good game. I love the pace of the game today. I'm always excited to see those two. go at it. So shouts to the Fever. Then we had the Storm versus the Mercury. The Mercury got the win today, 87-78. I also want to say, Phoenix, you're nasty for how y'all was booing Skylar Diggins today. Y'all are disgusting.
Oh.
How y'all did that woman, the franchise, how the franchise did that lady, and y'all booing her. Y'all are disgusting, and disgusting is keeping it cute. Phoenix Mercury, y'all deserve a nasty award, not the team. But I'm talking about the fans.
Yeah.
Y'all deserve, I mean, and the franchise, for real. Y'all deserve a nasty award.
They sure do, because the headlines that was coming out when she was away last year was nasty. Y'all didn't let her go into the facilities to use the gym? That's crazy. That's crazy. Y'all ain't wish her a happy birthday on social media? That's crazy. Y'all was doing a lot of petty things, okay? But yeah, I didn't get a opportunity to watch that game today, so I did not get a chance to witness that. So thank you for reporting on that, Sean. Sir.
Yeah, that was nasty. They're nasty. The fans are disgusting. But nonetheless, Jewel Lloyd, she had another rough shooting night today. She ended with 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, but she was 0 for 6 from the three, and she was 3 for 15 from the field. The NECA, she had 15 points, 11 rebounds. She had a good game today. Skylar Diggins, she had 14 points, 8 assists. She was 2 for 6 from the three. But Brittany Griner for Mercury, man, she had 28 points, 9 rebounds. She was getting to it. She was getting to it. And then, of course, we got Kalia. Look, yo. Yo, I was watching the game. She started off hot. She started off hot.
Can we? Is she like in the MVP running for this year? Because
I don't know. I don't know.
Homegirl coming out, she got something to prove. I don't know.
She not
Year
playing.
9, she's no.
Nah,
No.
she not playing at all. She came out flaming hot, and she ended with 30. She another one that be getting 20 plus 30-point games frequently. She had a 30-point game, 6 rebounds. She was 7 for 3 from the three, and then she also, yeah, like I said, she had 6 rebounds. So, this was a good win for the Mercury. Moving on to Dream. I did not have the opportunity to catch this game. The Atlanta Dream actually beat the Sparks 87-74. The rookies of the Sparks. Cameron Brink, she had 16.7 rebounds. Rakia Jackson, my bad, go ahead.
They play well. No, I'm just kind of echoing. When they play very today, I had an opportunity to watch the game today, and Cameron and Rakia, they have synergy. There's no question about that. They both started today as well, so that's a plus. And I also have a question. LaDeja Clarendon, I think she's better coming off the bench, being a spark off the Sparks actual bench. Because Ari McDonald, she just looks like she's more comfortable. Like she just looks like she's finally in a rhythm. And I like how she's playing. I feel like she deserves to start over LaDeja Clarendon. And that's just my observation. But the Dream, they look good today. And can I say, if the Dream did not pick up Tina Charles, they would be down bad. Okay? They would be down very bad. Because TC has come back, and it's like she hasn't even been left at all. Like, obviously, she didn't have a great game last game. I think she finished with like 2 points. But 20 points, 11 rebounds. She's been consistent this whole season so far, despite the last game that she had. And Alicia Gray had a phenomenal game today. She was on. Like, she had this one pull up on the baseline where she looked like she just floated with the ball. Like, she looked like she was floating in the air and shot a little mid-range shot. Okay. It was really, really, really nice. And Ryan Howard, she had a really, really bad fall today in the game. It looked really bad. And she was on the ground for a little bit, so I'm happy to see that she kind of got up and finished out the game. I think with Ryan, she just has to do a better job for me with like shot selection. Sometimes I feel like she can be too ball dominant, and she doesn't get her teammates involved, and she kind of does whatever she wants. But Ariel Powers, I really like Ariel Powers. She was a great addition for them too. If they didn't get her, they would also be down bad. Okay. And I love when they get Ariel to do halftime interviews before they go into the locker room. She just articulates everything like they're doing so well when the broadcaster is interviewing her. So I appreciate Ariel Powers for that. She's very articulate, and she breaks down the game plan. So I'm very excited to listen to her talk when they do interview her. But the Dream, they had a really, really solid win today. And I just want them to be consistent. Can y'all just play this way every time? And I'm also calling out Haley Jones. Haley, this is your sophomore season. And I'm going to just say it. It looked like you ain't put no work in the off season. I'm sorry. I was expecting you to have a stellar start to the year. I was waiting for Haley Jones because I think she did well last year as a rookie, but she hasn't been there. And yeah, those are my thoughts for the game.
Well, there you have it. I mean, there you have it. The Dream. Shouts to the Dream for the win. What I forgot to mention earlier with the Aces is that they picked up Jessica Carter, which I think is a good addition as well. I think the Aces do need another forward, another big, and I think that she's a great addition. Definitely watched Jessica Carter while in college. She hooped at Mississippi State. I do know she was drafted by the Liberty. Don't remember what number she came out as, but she was picked up by the Liberty. I think at Mississippi State she was averaging close to 15 points a game. Very interested to see how she does with this group, specifically under the leadership of Asia Wilson. I want to see how she develops, and
Right.
I think that's a good addition for the Aces.
Fire. I want to say we are now live on Instagram. So if any of Instagram family, we are live right now.
Oh my gosh.
How y'all doing? Okay, StreamYard been hating. I don't know what's going on, but we love to see y'all. Okay, and since we halfway into it, I just want to say make sure y'all follow us on all social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. We everywhere. Okay. Shout out to DA for that visual right there. For helping me get right. Okay. But yeah, we halfway in. We just finished up with some WNBA basketball. We actually got some WNBA stats for y'all because the WNBA first month stats have come out and they've been busted.
Yeah, I mean the numbers don't lie. So the WNBA's first month attendance was over 400,000. Was 400,000 people viewed in to these games, which has been amazing. For more than half of W games, they've been sold out, including a 20,000 person crowd at Capital One Arena, and that was one of the
Mhm.
biggest WNBA turnouts since 2007,
Dope.
which is amazing.
Dope.
Throughout the first month, the 2024 season has been the most watched ever on every channel airing W games. This includes ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, CBS, Ion, where games average 1.32 million viewers, nearly tripling last season's average of 462,000. So, again, we hear the increase in numbers aren't just limited to linear platforms. Digital channels have also seen like all-time growth. In May, the league pass subscriptions were up 335%, and the
Mm.
WNBA app monthly active users jumped 613%.
613?
Yeah, and you know they increased the amount. So the
Ooh.
subscriptions for league pass, I think, are now $35, 32 to
Yes, last
$35.
year, yes, because last year I'm grandfathered in. It was 24.99.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
So like everybody, yeah. So the number, the money's there. Okay, you got to think
Right.
about that. The money, I'm pocket watching. I'm trying to do
Facts.
math.
Cause we've been screaming, where y'all what y'all been doing with the money? Where the money been coming from? So now y'all get into the bag. So we watching. This is I would love if everything was on the blockchain, Shantae. This would be something that I would love to see all the WNBA transaction on blockchain so I can see everything, Kathy.
Woo! So you can see what's really going on. That'd be great. They
Come
won't ever
on.
do that though. They do too much. You be on the other side, like they lifting the veil. They do that.
Right.
They lifting
We,
the veil completely.
everything is in a glass house on the blockchain.
Yeah, no, that would be dope. That's never happening. Um, I see your father in the comments, yo. Mr. Ray, you are crazy.
Happy Father's Day,
Yeah,
Dad.
happy
Happy
Father's
Father's Day.
Day. Happy Father. I
He's
mean,
crazy. Oh my
I would. He's crazy, but yeah.
God.
Back to the numbers. Viewership is up 60% this year among people of color, with Hispanic fans increasing 96%, Black viewers growing 67%. Tip off week, we saw a 124% increase in comparison to last year, and then people under 35. Um, well, that was in comparison to last year, and the people from that are under 35 years old. And then we saw an increase in the viewership growth in young girls, and that growth grew. Well, the number is 139% from last year. As far as the merchandise sales, obviously we already know the merch is going. Like when Angel Reese announced that she, and Camila Cardoso that they had jerseys. Everybody ran to go get those. Those sold out fairly quickly. However,
Right.
as we know, if you don't know, we covered the CBA. Shouts to the 9450. Shouts to K. Dot and Lauren. We talked about the CBA probably about a month ago now, month and a half ago now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Go check out that episode if you have not. But if you don't know, the players in the WNBA, they do not have the opportunity to enjoy any type of revenue sharing from merch sales under the current CBA. In comparison to the NBA, where the men are actually able to do so, they are not. So that sucks. But on a positive note, the merchandise sales um, are up 236% in comparison to last year. So again, the money's there. Hopefully, they'll be able to renegotiate some things in the next CBA so that they can get some money off of these
Mm-hmm.
sales. And but yeah, we just wanted to highlight the numbers because we've been feeling the increase in everything, but it's really important to look at the data. It's really important to look at the numbers. That's what we're here to do. And yeah, the numbers just really reflect what we've already been feeling and knowing. So we just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
highlight that.
Facts. Everything has been a number out of the water. 613% year over year is insane. Okay, 236%. Like these numbers, y'all gotta understand, like traditional numbers are like return is like 10%, a 10% increase. Like traditionally, what they say you should be getting from the stock market, or like if you're profiting, is like between 7 to 10%. These increases are insane, Shantae. This is not normal. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all. Like I'm trying to get y'all to realize these numbers are really anomalies. Like they're not normal. By
Yeah, they shouldn't be
far.
taken lightly at all. Right.
Right.
And we only going to
Right.
continue to see an increase in the numbers. Like, so.
That's what I'm saying. Tripling viewership. That's not normal, y'all.
We, we here. This is
Like
crazy.
y'all don't understand. We've been like immersed, kind of like in community building and in marketing, in understanding how these influencers gain followers and stuff like that, like SEO optimization. Like we've been behind the backgrounds for a lot of things, and the numbers that the WNBA are doing are really unprecedented. And I just want y'all to really understand that. Don't take these numbers lightly. This is not light by no means. These numbers are not light, okay? And that rolls me into the next segment where we talking about the WNBA rookie power rankings. Media outlets, I'm gonna have to tell y'all again, like Shantae said, y'all getting nasty awards because y'all are lazy. The integrity in journalism, y'all just circulate the same thing. Nobody does any work anymore. Y'all don't do any work anymore. Y'all just circulate the same thing. Okay, I done seen the same power rankings for every outlet. Y'all see me laughing? It's laughable. I cannot. Okay, so CBS released their top 5 rookies. Number 1, Angel Reese. Number 2, Caitlin Clark. Number 3, Rakia Jackson. Number 4, Cameron Brink. Number 5, Aaliyah Edwards. Okay, how you feel about that, Shantae?
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the top 5. I mean, the other list that we posted this past week was the top 10. I don't know how I feel about that ranking. I think that was from who was that from? ESPN.
I think so. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
I didn't agree with that list, that ranking. I
Okay.
think they had Caitlin Clark going one as one.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. I mean, for me personally, she wouldn't be one on my list. I'm not mad at Angel Reese being one. Um, but yeah, I didn't agree with that list. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how these power rankings are from week to week. I think we're on week 4.
Yeah.
Interested to see what they have coming up. Interested to see I think the voting started for All Star weekend, for the All Star game.
It sure did. It sure did. It opened up on the 13th, so it opened up on Thursday. I definitely did vote. I did my
Yeah.
first vote. Do y'all want to know who I voted for? I
If you
can
want to
show.
disclose.
Yeah, I can. Hold on, because they let you download a little thing after you vote. You get a
Mm.
little graphic. You get a little graphic about who you chose. So for my guards, I had Drew Lloyd. You get four. You got to pick four guards. I had Drew Lloyd, Benijah Laney Hamilton, Kayla McBride, and Kalia Kappa. Okay. And then for my front court, I had Asia Wilson, De'Erica Hamby, Jonquel Jones, Maddie Segrist,
You and
Monique
Maddie, we
Billings.
gonna go back to Maddie Seacrest in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, Maddie Segrist, Monique Billings, and Tina Charles.
I'm not
That's what
mad
I'm
at
voting
that.
for.
I'm not mad at that. I don't have a
Okay,
retort.
I feel like all of these people have been integral parts of their team's success this year. Okay, each and every one of them. Monique Billings, woo, the dream. Yeah, dropped the ball again. I'm gonna be saying it all year. All year. I cannot believe they let her go. Y'all waved that lady. And she came out the gate and said, watch this. She said, watch this, okay? And Tina Charles, TC. TC from our class, y'all. Do y'all realize that?
Yo, we had to battle against Tina Charles in real life.
In real life.
In real life, all the time too. Shouts to Tina, but all the time.
Come on. TC still moving like a well-oiled machine.
And
It's
she deserves all her flowers for that. I mean, we talked about this earlier, but it's like, baby, Tina, we the same age. And I'm like, and I love to see how she was like embracing Angel Reese the other day.
Absolutely.
And have, words for her, and it looked like Angel Reese was really soaking in with and to think that Tina's an OG in the league is crazy. That is crazy, but just to see that was also very dope. But yeah, Tina Charles, man.
TC, they're out here. And I'm proud because she's from our class, so y'all don't understand.
Facts.
TC still doing it. That gives me hope and optimism that I can really make a comeback. Y'all feel me?
No, you can't.
Like I could make a comeback. I still got some miles I could put on my knees. You feel me?
I gotta work up to that, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Look. Shantae said at some point she's gonna do a marathon, y'all. Like,
yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do that.
She gonna get there. Okay?
I'm gonna get there. It's a slow grind, but I would like to try that.
We gonna get there. Even my dad said he want to do a marathon. So, Dad, we doing a marathon. Mr. Pearl, I'm calling you out too. We doing a dad-daughter marathon. Dad-daughter. Next, we gonna do it on a Father's Day too. At some point, okay? A dad-daughter running marathon. Here we go.
That's on the agenda. But yeah, but Tina Charles still be doing it is amazing. Love to see how she's passing the torch along. And I ain't mad at your picks. I'm not mad at your votes. Okay. I was about to give you the floor to talk about Maddie Segrist because to be honest, listen. I tweeted it today, but you was the only, in my opinion, outside of what the media was saying. Obviously, when Maddie was in college, she was putting up crazy numbers. Maddie Segrist had a 50-point game in college. But the only person I personally knew that was breaking down Maddie Segrist's progression on a year-to-year basis was Brittany. And you put me on when we was covering college hoops at the time. I was like, yo, I'm not even paying attention to Maddie. because I wasn't paying much attention to Villanova. If I'm being honest, I wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't paying much
Right.
attention to Villanova at one point. Um, but yeah, I was gonna give you the floor because Maddie Seagrass is showing up. Like we gonna talk about the sophomores this week for sure.
Yeah.
But the way Maddie Seagrass is showing up, and again, just really mirroring her progression in college, and we see it happening. It's just been a wash and repeat
Mm-hmm.
of her collegiate career. Go ahead, Brittany.
Look, I really just first and foremost, happy Father's Day to my older brother, Villanova
Shouts to
great.
Allen.
Okay, Villanova great, Alan Ray, because he is the one that told me to start watching. He said, "You know Maddie Seagrass?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "Get on it." Okay, straight like that. I remember one Friday night about 2 years ago was watching a game. Maddie Seagrass. I was like, "Who is she?" Grabbing boards, shooting threes, mid range, pulling up. I'm like, nah. Who is she? And she's the perfect story for a student athlete who needs some inspiration. She had one offer coming out of high school, and that was Villanova. Okay, just one. Villanova took a chance on Maddie Seagrass, and she's going down. She is now the all-time leading scorer, men or women's, at Villanova. Okay? And the Dallas Wings was the perfect team for her too, because she just was able to kind of like come in and kind of just fill a gap. Essentially, they needed a couple of bigs. Like that's why I felt like the dream. Why did you let Monique Billings go? Because she was the perfect person. Natasha Howard went down early in the season from injury. Monique Billings picked up just really kind of came in and just picked it up seamlessly from there. But Maddie Seagrass, I think she's averaging like 16 points per game in the last 10 games. Okay? Like, we're talking about she's on a team with Enrique Agumawale. We already know that's a high volume shooter. Maddie is not shooting that much. She's efficient, and that's what makes her even a better player. Like, she's so efficient, okay? And she comes in and she does the dirty work. She don't care. Like, this girl will dive on the floor, throw elbows. Like, she get down and dirty. Shantae talking about bumping. Yeah, she gonna bump down there. She bumping down there with the bigs. Like, she got Tierra McCowan on her team. She has Kalani Brown on her team. Those are Twin Towers too. My God. Okay? So she's coming in and backing up these people, and she's just doing a phenomenal job. I think, like, if I could put it, like, most improved, like, is Maddie, can she qualify? I think she can be in the race for most improved, right? From
I
last
would say
season.
so. Yeah.
So just keep a watch. But I think for sure we're definitely going to do a sophomores watch list at some point this week because it needs to happen. There's been some phenomenal play from a few of the sophomores, and I need y'all to know about it.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing your voting picks with
Yeah.
us.
So yeah, go vote, y'all. Stop it. I think you can vote daily.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
go ahead. Stop playing.
All right. Well, moving on. We already talked about Angel Reese and her double doubles. Talked about Asia Wilson. I saw this article floating online with the WNBA. They could increase their media rights deal to 240 million. They probably can surpass that. To be
Right.
honest, I mean, we really wanted to like pocket watch. They could negotiate something higher than that. I know that. I think initially it was. Don't quote me. I feel like it was like 60 mil or 120 mil. It was definitely lower than 240. Um,
Yeah.
but at the time that we reported it, it may have been when we was doing the pod, when we was doing Beyond the 9450, or it may have been on a Sunday like now. I think the National Women's Soccer League was like their media rights deal was the highest media rights deal in women's sports at
Fact.
240. That's where it's at right
Mhm.
now. It's at 240. Um, I personally think with that being like a standard or like the highest, I think women's basketball can surpass 240. What do you think, Britt?
I think so. I think it could push to 300. To be quite honest.
Yeah, I think they can surpass it. This is really what they about to negotiate though. How Kathy negotiates this deal.
Come on, go in there. Yo, Kathy, you should put out a ridiculous number because they always gonna knock it down. She should have came in there and said, I want a billion. A billy.
Yo,
A
do
billy.
something, Kathy. The numbers,
I
the
mean,
data, the
look,
stats that she's going to be able to bring into that boardroom to negotiate. Some of
I'm
what we
coming.
just mentioned this evening.
Right. I'm coming in with a billy asking offer. A billy.
I mean, the NBA just got the Billy. Remember, they had like what was it, like a $5 billion deal,
Yeah,
media rights
yeah.
deal. I mean, we ain't now. Granted, like we only in the we still growing, but I think they can surpass the 240. I'm gonna say that.
Nah, I think so.
That
They
ain't
and
even
they
to
bringing
help
in
them.
they bringing in all this like come on. They bringing in all this revenue. Like we're going to see. This year, they better everything better get triggered, okay? Revenue
Yeah, you're right.
sharing.
I mean, yeah, revenue sharing better be triggered. It should be. If not, they gonna hear it, boy. I'm telling you. If not, Brittany, we
Yeah.
gonna have to keep a real use your cat eye on the WNBA's pockets. If it's not, I'd be shocked, honestly.
That'll
And
be
if it's
good.
not triggered this year, hopefully next year. But I'm rooting for this year.
Yeah. I think
Hmm.
they have what it takes to get it this year.
We
Okay?
shall see. We shall see. Um, moving on. I mean, shouts to Jaleel. I got the text from Alfred yesterday too
Mm-hmm.
about this tournament in New York. Brittany, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yes. Um, absolutely. So this is a new invitational that has sprung up in New York. Our good, our uncle, well, my uncle is his son is involved in this, so kind of like my cousin, my god brother, he's family was one of the key people putting this thing together. So shout out to the Pound Invitational. It was hosted yesterday. I was really trying to get to it. We got an invitation to go, but traffic in New York City on a 80 plus degree Saturday afternoon is really insane. Okay. So trying to get from Brooklyn to White Plains on a Saturday afternoon was indeed a task. Okay, so didn't get a chance to make it up there, but hopefully we'll get a chance to come to this next year. They had a girls All Star game and also a boys All Star game, and a lot of heavy hitter sponsors. So y'all know we talk about investing on this show. EYL was one of the sponsors, so it was a great thing to see that. You had Adidas as one of the sponsors. So Raspy Sports, the Jordan brand was also out there. Shout out to the place in which they had the game, the Theodore D. Young Community Center. And also, big shout outs to Donovan Mitchell, because he was also one of the sponsors for the Invitational. So it was at Yosemite Park in White Plains, New York, and it looked like it was pretty lit. It was actually streamed on Clash TV. So if y'all want to get a chance to rewatch the game, you can just go on Clash TV and kind of search the Pound Invitational, and you'll get a chance to rewatch what went down. I got a chance to watch some of the girls' game yesterday. I would have loved if y'all could have just put a flyer out with the names of the players, so that us media people over here can just keep a watch out for the upcoming talent that we seen on the court. So just kind of wanted to give Jalil a shout out, and the Pound Invitational. It was this inaugural year, so looking forward to that next year.
Nice, very nice. Well, with that being said, I think that rounds out the sports news that we have for this week. Now we're moving on to NIL news slash college sports news. Even though obviously college basketball is quiet right now, we're in the off season. We still feel it's imperative to, cover any NIL updates, changes, all of the things. Um, and so we had an opportunity to talk about this on Friday with Beyond the 9450. We're just bringing it here for y'all to hear again, and if you're new, for you to hear for the first time. But North Carolina Board of Education, they banned um, high school student athletes from monetizing their name, image, and likeness. Um, this is a really big deal. So this past week, the North Carolina Board of Education denied high school student athletes from monetizing their name, image, and likeness, and basically said no student participating in interscholastic athletics shall enter into any agreement to use the student's name, image, and likeness in any of the following ways: public appearances or commercials, autograph signings, athletic camps and clinics, NFTs, product or service endorsements, promotional activities, including in person events and social media advertisements. This rule is in place for 2024 2025. Currently, there are 37 local athletic associations that allow student athletes to participate in NIL deals, aka 37 states that allow it, without having these high school student athletes forfeit their ability to play sports. Yet there's still 13 state associations or governing bodies that are denying these student athletes, high school student athletes, from monetizing their name, image, and likeness. Now, it is important to point out that in North Carolina, private schools are still able to allow their student athletes to monetize their name, image, and likeness. It's very much under the umbrella of like the separation between church and state. Obviously, with private schools, they're not being, run by the state. They're not getting state funding, so they're allowed to kind of do things how they would like. And this kind of complicates the situation. Um, so yeah, private schools. If you go to a private school in North Carolina, a private high school, you're able to take advantage of the name, image, and likeness rules there, and monetize your NIL there. Um, this obviously gives private schools a significant advantage, and top ranked players could obviously transfer there if they want to take advantage of NIL activities. Um, but then there was a quote in this article that I read regarding this, and it said that by continuing to prohibit NIL, they are restricting these athletes' right of publicity and the ability to potentially earn life changing money for their families. Some may argue that these athletes can just transfer to private schools within the state or to another school within a state that permits NIL, but that may not be feasible for them due to financial reasons, family, social, and other economic reasons, or other reasons in general. So I guess I wanted to just see what y'all thought about it. Brittany, how do you feel about it? Again, we talked about this past week, but This is I've never we've never reported on this where we've had a situation where only public schools are being denied the opportunity and then private schools can do, can take advantage of it. So just wanted to hear your thoughts about it.
You know, I have really was kind of flabbergasted and taken aback when we read this article, because if I want to break it down in New York terms, because I know we got a lot of New York family, it's like the PSAL, which is the public high school league in New York, and then you have the CHSAA, which is the Catholic high school league. The PSA league is not allowed. So based on this rule from North Carolina, it would be as if the PSAL would not be allowed to capitalize on NIL opportunities, but the CHSAA would be able to. And I just think that that is unfair, because both pools have talent, if you want to say. And I'm pretty sure that's the same with the student body in North Carolina as well. Like, North Carolina is a basketball hotbed. Like, some of the best players have come out of North Carolina, whether you want to talk about Michael Jordan, Chris Paul, Steph Curry. Like, it's a hotbed. So I'm sure a lot of kids that are good go to public school in North Carolina. So this kind of puts them at a disadvantage, like, for real, a really significant disadvantage. And I wonder if, because this is being put in place, whether kids are now going to try to transfer into private schools. And then, like you said, this is going to be like with the credits. Like, are the credits even going to be able to be transferred from public to going to private schools? Like, on the academic evaluation standard, is transferring actually a good option for you academically, right? Like, people have to put that into play. So I don't like this. And I kind of feel bad for the student athletes that go to public school in North Carolina who can't, you know, get an opportunity to just take advantage of this.
No, I'm with you. Hopefully, the North Carolina Board of Education changes its mind by 2025, into the 2026 season, so that they can monetize their name, image, and likeness. I think that it's just weird hearing that a lot of like these southern states are kind of moving slow when it comes to these opportunities. I mean, we've reported on like how slow Georgia at one point was moving. Georgia's a really big, obviously, football state as well. A lot of these southern states are huge football and basketball states, and so to know that they're moving so slow, um, I can understand the hesitancy, um, but flat out denying them the opportunity to do it, it seems a little off. And so hopefully they change their minds, and legislation changes in the next few years. But just wanted to report on that. Um, Moving on, still in NIL news, this was a little crazy. So Coleman Hawkins, uh, hmm, it's reported that he signed a $2 million deal to go over to Kansas State. Now, shouts to Kansas State. Kansas State always has tough teams, specifically the men's team. I mean, the women's team just had a really tough team this past year in the Pac-12. I was definitely on them, but nonetheless, he just signed a $2 million deal, NIL deal to get to Kansas State. And so back in May, um, the highest paid NIL deal that we saw was Great Oselber from Utah State. He committed to Washington. He transferred from Utah State, and that NIL agreement was reported as $2 million. And sources indicated that The deal was made up of cash from an NIL collective and then some endorsement deals. And then this past Friday, or rather last Friday, we saw Coleman Hawkins. He came from Illinois and then he committed to Kansas State and he withdrew from the NBA draft. An NBA insider reported that Hawkins inked a $2 million deal. It is important to note that now negotiating a contract before commitment is permitted, um, due to what happened in Tennessee, and we spoke about this. There was there was a lot of legal action happening at Tennessee, and the court ruled that this is now permitted. If you don't know, even we even reported with the Cavender twins, um, that they faced some backlash last year, not last year, the year before last, in their last season, um, because they transferred into Miami, but it was reported that they had negotiations before transferring, and Florida suffers, oh, excuse me, Miami suffers some consequences due to them negotiating and sitting down with a booster. At this point, now it's permitted. That you're allowed to have negotiations before transferring, which is great. I mean, it's been happening for a long time, even before these rules changed. But yeah, now it's permitted. And so back to Coleman Hawkins. The source familiar with the situation said that the seven-figure deal was executed with a group of private donors who have opted to operate behind the scenes. The source indicated it was probably a $2 million deal. Um, Wildcat NIL currently has 11 of 13 K-State basketball players on NIL agreements. K-State has one of the largest NIL budgets in the country. Bankrolls for NIL collectives range from $1 million to $6 million. Hawkins landing a $2 million deal tracks with the market. The most valuable position in the basketball transfer portal is his position, which are forwards and centers right now. And for high end talent at those positions, $1 million deals are commonplace. Brittany, I think you're muted.
I'm definitely muted. I thought they said that the big men were dead. They pulling in the most money right now. Wow. $1 million deals are the commonplace for power forwards and centers right now.
For NIL.
Y'all better work on your games, yo. Y'all better work on your games.
What, Mel?
Yo, do y'all realize we were playing for free? Like, for real? Like, we was playing for the love. Like, for real. And obviously, y'all can still play for the love, but there's way much more involved now. Like, y'all can really change your lives.
Absolutely.
Doing something you already wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Y'all already love to play the sport that y'all love to play. So it's like getting money to do that is a win-win for you, okay? Like, and if you really put your mind to the pavement and stay focused on your craft, the bags is just gonna roll in, man. The bag's gonna roll in.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. So, the article reported that Nike and Adidas, they ran college basketball in regards to like putting dollars into the sport, paying coaches and rosters, and then with the rise of NIL and lucrative collective packages, they've taken a back seat. So this is the norm now. And yeah, that young man is getting paid $2 million. This is amazing. He averaged 12.1 points, 6 rebounds, and a little over 2.5 assists in the past season. He played a significant role over at Illinois. Um, so I'm excited to see how he does at Kansas State. Like I said, I usually keep an eye on the men and the women of Kansas State. Um,
Right.
and they usually do a really good job in recruiting.
Yeah,
So
that's a fact.
I personally have never seen him play or kept an eye out on him specifically. So I want to see if he was worth the 2 mil. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna watch.
We gonna see.
We will
We
see.
gonna see.
Moving on, yo, shouts to Kevin Love. He announced his inaugural Student Athlete Mental Health Summit. This is fire. I also wanted to give a shout out to Gerald Coles, who is a friend and colleague of Brittany and I, who always and has for the past several years has been really big on mental health and meditation. And he is coaching, I believe, at Cardinal Hayes. Um, and
I think he's back at St. Ray's now.
all right, well then, shouts to Gerald. Just he works closely with the youth, and
Yes, yes.
he's just really big on wellness, and we don't see a lot of we don't see a lot of programs and individuals pushing uh
Mental
for
health and
just mental
wellness.
health and wellness as an athlete, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he be having those young men meditating,
Mm-hmm.
getting into yoga, doing breathing exercises. That's real important because when you get on that floor, obviously, there's times in which you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna want to curse out the ref.
Right.
You may not be mentally in the game. You have to set aside your emotions. You have to be able to compartmentalize your emotions while being on that floor. And I think it's imperative it's important that we highlight what Gerald does. And I wanted to give him a shout out for that, but also what Kevin Love is doing. So Kevin Love founded the Kevin Love Fund in 2018 with the mission to empower athletes to improve their physical and mental well being. In an
Mm-hmm.
exclusive interview, he mentioned that he was going to start his inaugural event, the Student Athlete Mental Health Summit. Um, and as part of the summit, he incorporates not only mental health training, um, but a bunch of other aspects that you would need to be a successful athlete. And he's been very vocal about how incorporating mental health or mental skills training into his routine has helped him become a better hooper.
Mm.
Um, and how he learned how to talk more about his emotions and to be open and vulnerable with those around him. He said his experience in the NBA and his mental health journey led him to define 4 key pillars at the Kevin Love Fund, which is research, grant making, advocacy, and education. Through his passion for sharing his story to increase awareness and help others, the Kevin Love Fund got to work on creating a curriculum for student athletes primarily in middle school and high school. The curriculum we created at the Kevin Love Fund helps model for student athletes that they can talk about their emotions and don't have to hide if they're struggling. Um, they also license out this curriculum to coaches, and they've received great feedback from coaches saying that um, the coaches say that it's helped them build a team culture where players know that they can be honest and open about their mental health. Um, so yeah, their inaugural summit is going to happen on June 29th. And the summit will bring together professional athletes and current and former student athletes at the middle school, high school, and collegiate levels to normalize the conversation about mental health in sports and share personal experiences. So this is dope. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. I think that is, like I said, it's important. Um, you're balancing a lot as a student athlete more now than ever before. With you gotta get in the gym. You may have social media to run. You may have appearances to make. You just have other obligations now, and I could see how that could be a lot weighing on a student athlete. And I think that having this space to have them learn how to manage their emotions and feel comfortable in talking about them is really important. I think we may have
Happenings
lost.
with
Oh, there you go, Britt.
what
Go ahead,
up?
Britt.
I keep coming out, but I was just talking about Kevin Love, and he's been very transparent in his struggles. Very
I think
happy
we
to
lost
hear
Brittany.
that he
Oh, there you go.
has been able.
I think we lost Brittany, y'all. But yeah, it sounded like she was piggybacking off what I said about how Kevin Love has been very vocal about his struggles, um, his mental
It
health
was when he
struggles,
was
and
with the Cavs.
oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, we lost Brittany, y'all. But yeah, she was it sounded like she was talking about Kevin Love and his NBA career and how he was struggling with his mental health, and just to see how he's now pouring into the youth so that they don't necessarily have to feel alone or not necessarily have the resources is really dope to see. So just wanted to give a shout out to Kevin Love. Be on the lookout, like I said, for the Student Athlete Mental Health Summit that's supposed to be starting on the 29th of this month. And we can't wait to report back. Hopefully, we find some articles about some takeaways and feedback from that event. Um, but moving on to tech news. We're tech enthusiasts. We love tech. We're big into AI and blockchain technology, and we think it's important to discuss those things in our community. Um, and so, yeah, we're gonna cover NVIDIA. I wish Brittany was online right now because Brittany actually covered NVIDIA um, 2 episodes ago. With the stock split that happened. But nonetheless, Nvidia they announced that the company's next generation of AI chips, which will be called Rubin, ahead of Computex tech conference earlier this week, is going to be releasing soon. Hey Brittany, we talking about
Hey,
Nvidia right on time. Um, but I was just saying how they're releasing another AI chip. It's going to be called Rubin. And this announcement is only coming 3 months after Nvidia just released a Blackwell AI chip model. So they're pumping these chips out quickly. Um, and so yeah,
okay.
the CEO of Nvidia also revealed a roadmap that details Nvidia's plans to release new AI chips on a 1 year rhythm moving forward. So it kind of goes in line with what I just said. They're planning on pumping these things out rather quickly. Um, and this announcement comes a few days after the news of Nvidia's market cap briefly surpassing the $3 trillion mark for the first time in the company's history. And on this past Wednesday, Nvidia closed at $3.19 trillion and became the second most valuable publicly traded company ahead of Apple and behind Microsoft. The three big tech giants are the only ones to ever reach $3 trillion in market cap. It's worth noting that Nvidia joined the 3 trillion club roughly a year after hitting a $1 trillion valuation.
Hold on. They've hit they've hit 3 trillion a year after they've hit 1 trillion.
Yes, after a year.
Y'all, we've been talking about Nvidia. We've even done a thread on our timeline talking about Nvidia's split that just happened. So they just recently did a 10-to-1 stock split. Literally on June 7th. The stock traded at a split adjusted price. And I'm telling y'all, NVIDIA is leading in the semiconductor sector. They have a significant market share for the chips. Most of the big companies that you know are going to NVIDIA and using their chips to supply their artificial intelligence capacities. So NVIDIA is something that you would likely want to have in that portfolio, y'all. Okay.
For sure.
It is, and to be someone who has followed NVIDIA for the past 4 years, and just to give y'all detail, I'm going to just let y'all know. I started investing in 2020, really started studying in kind of 2019 and getting my life together. And then when the pandemic really kind of hit, I was home all the time. So I had nothing but time to read, right? And that was also coincidental with EYL starting their Market Monday series, okay? And that just kind of, all of this kind of clicked for me, right? And because I was on the investor mindset at that time, opening up brokerage account, with Webull. And you know how they give you these stocks. I was actually gifted an NVIDIA stock and I had no idea.
I remember you told me that.
I'm like, Shantae, what is NVIDIA? I'm like, this joint is worth $300 something. I might just cash it out. And Shantae's like, bro, just chill out. Thank God she said chill out, okay? Because I held for a year and NVIDIA split in 2021. So I had 4 shares, okay? That 1 share went to 4, right? Fast forward. I've held, but I've also sold, okay? I had to sell some stuff just to get other stuff because that's what you do. But I still stay strong with them 2 shares in my account. After the split, I now have 20 shares of NVIDIA, okay? Just for staying on the plan, okay? Staying on the plan, all right? Reading reports, this is not financial advice, this is just me reading. If I'm hearing that the valuation for the company done went from 1 million to 3 trillion in 1 year, I'm very interested to see what this price is going to be in the next year. Because when it split in 2021, it was $88 a share. $88 a share in 2021, July 2021, after a split. Okay? And obviously, 3 years later, 2024, NVIDIA is a $1,200 stock. That took 3 years. So I'm really interested to see when it gets to 1,000, 1,200 again, how long is that going to take? It's not going to take 3 years. I'm going to give you a prediction, Shantae, a year. Just like the valuation.
Yeah.
A year. It's going to take NVIDIA a year. I'm going to give you 3 things. At the bare minimum, a year. Medium, 18 months. The top, 2 years. Okay? NVIDIA is getting back to $1,200 range.
Because the way it's moving,
insanity.
I don't think that's crazy. So we'll have to see. Yeah, that's all we have for tech news, culture news. This is where we talk about business, fashion, film, music, all the things. We talked about this on Beyond the 9450, but our good brothers and sisters over at the 9450, they got gifted La Crema wine, who is an official wine partner of the WNBA. I believe they became or announced that they were the official wine partner of the WNBA back in April 2024. And I think they're they're the first excuse me, the first wine partner of the WNBA. And so one of the branches of La Crema also is a wine partner of the NBA. So they have their hands in a little bit of everything. This company is a family owned company or wine company, and it's female driven. So the sisters, the daughters, the cousins, they're all working together to run this business, and it just happens to all be women that are doing it. And so it just really made sense for them to partner or to sponsor the WNBA. Now, on the NBA side, Brittany and I have personally covered, I think, on both Beyond the 9450 and then also on our IG page, all the NBA players that have their hand in just wine. They have their own wine companies. I mean, James Harden,
Hmm.
we reported that I can't remember the name of his wine company right now. It's lost for me right now, but nonetheless, his wine sold out in minutes. Um, when it was released or dropped. We got Steph Curry, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade,
Hmm.
CJ McCollum. We talked about CJ McCollum. If you're not familiar, scroll down on our IG. We talked about that as well. Just talked about James Harden, Kevin Love, Chris Paul. Um, they all have launched their own private wine labels, and
Hmm.
would love to we talked about deep diving into these players, both on the men's side and the women's side, their portfolios, because we just think it's important to highlight what they're doing beyond their sport. They're not just, and especially on the women's side, because I feel like it's not even I feel like I know everybody talks about if you're a new supporter, no disrespect to you. I think a lot of people was appalled to learn how much money these women were being paid. Um,
Hmm.
from the W. But that's why it's important to highlight portfolios because it highlights their brand deals. It highlights their deals. It highlights their business because this is not their only means of income. And so yeah, we're definitely going to tap into that to put y'all on to what's happening. And if you don't know, follow subscribe to the 9450 because every week we drop Beyond the 9450 where we're talking about portfolios. We're talking about what these men and women are doing beyond their sport. And so it's
Right.
important that y'all know that. But not to get sidetracked, didn't know Greg Pop was a wine connoisseur. I definitely want to look into what he's been doing. Um, but yeah, apparently he's a wine connoisseur. But I still like to say I would love to see more women on in W have their own private wine labels. If they do have those, we're unfamiliar with those, and we'll do our due diligence to find them. But there's quite a few on the men's side. We would love to see how the women tap in on in the wine industry. It's a profitable industry. Um, I personally didn't know it was a profitable industry until I always joke about it when I went to law school. So in there, I found out there was such a thing called wine law. Didn't know that was even a thing. Learned more about it, and it's a really profitable industry, and a lot of people have their hands in it. So definitely interested in seeing what other wine labels kind of partner and sponsor the W, and then how they can get the women more involved in that realm.
Do we have any WNBA players that have ventured into wine?
That's what I'm saying. Like we would have to do our own due diligence and find out, but off the top, I can't think of any.
Me either. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll do some research.
Yeah. So moving on, just wanted to highlight Alyssa Peely and then her getting an endorsement with N7, which is a Nike uh kind of push, right? Nike a push that Nike is taking to really support the indigenous communities in North America. And it's called N7. It's a fund and it grants it provides grants and other means of uh, monetary support to the indigenous communities, and it champions also athletes um, that are a part of the indigenous communities, that are elevating indigenous communities. And it just makes sense that they signed Alyssa Peely. Obviously, we know she's of indigenous descent, and she signed an endorsement deal with Nike as an N7 athlete. The announcement was made last week. They also held a private ceremony for her. We always talked about how, Angel Reese wasn't necessarily welcomed in the greatest in Chicago, or really her and Camilla, with just the conditions. And, you know, and when we compare that to how Minnesota welcomed Alyssa, um, completely different welcoming. Um, and Minnesota has completely embraced her and her heritage, and her love and respect for her heritage there. Um, and so, yeah, in the article, she said, when I talked to my agent about marketing myself in that area, I wanted to include my heritage. I wanted to include the people who have supported me along the way and represent them and myself. And that's what she's been doing. This entire time, she was really big on, really repping for her heritage when she was in college. And again, Brittany and I always talk about the importance of telling your story, the importance of being vulnerable. All of those things play a part in marketing yourself as a person. Like, obviously, beyond you being an athlete as a person, like, what is important to you? Um, and I think Alyssa has just she's done a really good job, even without trying, because this is who she is, and just telling her story. And that naturally attracted Nike to tap in with her and then sign her. So, shouts to Alyssa Peely. She's been another rookie that's been doing her thing. All these rookies have been doing their thing since entering the W, and she's one of them. So, just wanted to give Alyssa her flowers for that.
Like I said, on the 9450 when we spoke about this, Alyssa, obviously she's on a star-studded team with the Minnesota Lynx, so she's not really getting the minutes like she possibly would want to. But nevertheless, when she does come on the court and when her number does get called, she has impact on the court and she's getting it done. Okay, like she's already, I believe, had a 20-point game this season, coming off the bench, being a spark for the Lynx. Yeah, they had Diamond Miller is hurt, so she's been able to kind of fulfill some of the role that Diamond hasn't been able to fill because she's been hurt. So it's good to see Alyssa Peely being supported by such a big brand. And I love that Nike is actually doing an initiative to support the indigenous communities. That's really, really great to see. So shout out to Alyssa Peely. Shout out to Nike for the N7 initiative. I like it.
Me too. I just realized I was muted. But yeah. So shouts to Alyssa. Just also wanted to highlight that Cam and Makes, they're growing and launching a women's talk show. Saw a lot of talk about that, but I'm not surprised. Like, they're branching off into women's sports. Yeah. Women, I'm not surprised. You're gonna see a lot of new, a lot of new legs forming. And I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. I'm interested to see how it goes. I mean,
yeah, facts. I look. What can we say? Women's sports is a hot topic right now, and it's gonna be a hot topic for a long time because women are getting better. Like the skill set, the talent, the pool of talent increasing in every sport, to be quite honest. So just really excited to see how other people are capitalizing and trying to, come in. So shout out to Cam and Mace for branching out.
Facts. So keep an eye on that. And I didn't know if you wanted to go back and talk about what you did for Father's Day and all the things.
Yeah. So we love food over here. Big I'm a chef as like my day job, my profession. So attending food festivals is my love language. So this past weekend, for Father's Day, to celebrate my husband, I took him to a food festival in Brooklyn. It's called, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Smorgasburg. It's in Brooklyn.
No, that was
They
right.
do it. That was right? Okay. Because I was botching the name. Botching it. Shantae was like, nah, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah. But yeah, it's this food festival that they do every weekend. When do they start? They start in the beginning of June, right?
I believe
Or
so.
like
Actually, before that, I'm gonna say
before?
sometime in April. I feel like it
In
starts, and then
April?
it
Okay.
I feel like it may be April, and then it doesn't stop until October.
Yeah. So you got ample opportunity to get there. And it was just an amazing experience. It was overwhelming because it's like you can't have everything that you possibly could want, but I made some solid choices and that's what I did because everything I had was busting. Um,
I think we losing you, Britt.
happy camper. We're happy campers.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a good time. I ate a lot of good food. Shout out to Dough. Their donuts, crazy. Like donuts the size of my head, unbelievable. And lastly, I kind of just wanted to shout out the Tank Frank Martin fight yesterday. I don't know if you got a chance to watch.
I don't know what happened to Britt, but the tech was hating on Brittany throughout this time. But I'm gonna give her some time to come back. But yeah, that's all we have for y'all this week. As always, we're here every Sunday recapping the weekly headlines in sports, NIL news, tech news, and then culture news. So that's everything: business, film, fashion, movies, all of the things. Um, Please follow us on all social media platforms. Also, follow our family right now. They are also live recapping week 4 of the WNBA over at the 9450. Please tap in with them now. Follow and subscribe with them on all social media platforms as well. Tap in with us every Friday with the 9450. We release an episode under what's called Beyond the 9450, where we cover all things business of sports. And again, we break down these athletes' portfolios so that you can really get a really good glimpse into what they're doing outside of their sport. So as always, thank y'all for tapping in with us, and we hope to see y'all next week. Peace.